Chapter 1. The new executive assistant our company hired turned out to be a classic green tea girl. Not only did she play dumb and act cute in front of me, but she also made snide remarks to my fiancée, who came to pick me up after work. "Wow, your whole outfit could fund 2 Hope schools. How noble of you. If I were you, after getting engaged, I'd stay home preparing for motherhood and taking care of my husband instead of being out here in the public eye." Then she winked at me and said, "Right, boss?" I didn't say a word, but I turned around and called for the HR director. "Where did you find this green tea girl, playing out this overbearing CEO scenario with me? Fire her right away." Chapter 2. On my first day as CEO at the headquarters, I was already half-driven mad. I couldn't believe HR assigned me such a clueless assistant. I've been called boss, CEO, handsome, and even rich heir before. But this was the first time in my life someone called me master in front of everyone at the office. "Master, how do you turn on this coffee machine?" Hearing that, I almost spat out my tea. "Master? Master. Miss Lou, just call me CEO or boss," I said, trying to keep a straight face without bursting into laughter. "This is the company, I need to maintain my dignity as a leader." Lou Wanmeng shifted her gaze from the coffee machine to me and gave a sweet smile. "I just think calling you master makes it feel more intimate." I was speechless. "I hired you to work, you're the employee, I'm the boss, where's the intimacy in that? Once work's over, we're just 2 people who go our separate ways. Please, just call me CEO." Goodness, if she called me master in public, my reputation in this circle would be ruined. This time, Lou Wanmeng didn't argue. She hopped in place, widened her eyes, and tilted her head at me, saying, "All right, I'll listen to you, master." Then she quickly covered her mouth with her hands, peeking through her fingers and saying, "Oops, I mean CEO." Before I could say anything, she grabbed the files from my desk and dashed out, hopping away to who knows where. I watched her leave, pink overalls, white flats, and twin ponytails. Why did this outfit seem so familiar? Like I'd seen it in some idol drama before. Suddenly, a scene started playing in my head. First of all, my name isn't Hey, it's Xu Xuan. Second, if you. I shook my head, trying to erase the memory. If anyone knew that I, the CEO, watched such dramas, where would I put my face? Sigh, this girl seems off in the head. I might as well inform HR to fire her. Better to get rid of her before she embarrasses me further. Chapter 3. I spent the entire day in front of my computer, looking quite focused and hardworking. After a few rounds of Spider Solitaire and some 43.99 minigames, and reading a couple of novels on Jihu, I was officially bored. Our own company doesn't have that much to do anyway, so I decided to check the surveillance to see what everyone else was up to. The administration department was living up to its image as the company's face, heels and curly hair, holding coffee and scrolling through their phones, all slacking off together. The marketing department seemed busy, talking on the phone while typing away, looked productive, not bad. The development department, a bunch of balding guys, let's skip that. Wait a minute, isn't that my assistant? So she's out here flirting? On the monitor, Lou Wanmeng was gesturing animatedly at the development lead's desk, clapping her hands while talking. I couldn't hear her, but I could tell she was saying, "Wow, team leader, you're amazing. You know how to do everything." With a heavy cutesy tone. The development lead looked flustered, coughing into his hand, his face turning red. A moment later, Lou Wanmeng hopped over to a few other balding desks. Same routine, wide eyes, tilted head. Faking surprise, playing the cheerleader. Without exception, those bald men were all smiling, with 1 or 2 of them looking at her with greasy expressions. I clicked my tongue and frowned, doubting if the HR director's eyes were pecked by a chicken. How else could they have hired such a low-level green tea girl to be my executive assistant? This won't do. I'll have to dock a few points from the HR director's performance review to teach him a lesson. Chapter 4. As the day neared its end, I heard the sound of high heels clicking outside my office. Ji Inzhuang had come to pick me up. Ji Inzhuang is my childhood sweetheart and now my fiancée. Our families have known each other forever, and we're connected both personally and in business. With our family's support and matching assets, ever since I met her, no one else has ever caught my eye. Miss Ji, please come in. The administration head personally opened the door and welcomed Ji Inzhuang, and they exchanged some pleasantries. Even though the admin head was stunning, with her low-cut dress and high heels, I still found the casually dressed Ji Inzhuang far more captivating. She's always had a way of effortlessly holding my attention. After the small talk, the admin head sensibly left, leaving just me and Ji Inzhuang in the spacious office. I had already set up tea on my desk. Try it, it just arrived today. Ji Inzhuang brought the cup to her nose for a sniff and took a sip. Top-notch golden melon tribute tea. Mr. Gua, you sure are generous. I smiled and raised an eyebrow. Of course, I'd only serve the best to Miss Ji. After some playful banter, we exchanged smiles, happy to see each other again after over 2 months apart while she was in Europe for a new project. She looked as radiant as ever, as if all those nights of working on proposals, calls, and negotiations hadn't worn her down at all. From school to business, she's always been the one in control. The one who moves with grace and poise. That's my woman. I handed her a luxury gift box I'd prepared in advance. No matter how tough she is, I have to spoil my own fiancée. Seeing the gift box, she broke into a genuine smile, not a businesslike one, but a heartfelt grin. Ji Inzhuang opened the box and looked inside, her voice laced with happiness. You could have just given me this in private. I playfully tapped her nose. I couldn't wait to give it to my Royer. Royer is Ji Inzhuang's nickname. Ji Inzhuang placed her hands on my shoulders and gave me a quick peck on the lips. Thank you, Guogua. My full name is Guotang, but everyone close to me calls me Guogua. We usually use these nicknames in private. Just as I was about to say something, the door was suddenly flung open. CEO, I. It was Lu Wanmeng. Chapter 4. Ji Inji and I stood frozen in place, frustrated. Damn it! Does this idiot not know to knock before entering? After a brief awkward pause, Ji Inji was the first to release me. She calmly sat on the sofa, resuming her tea. I cleared my throat and frowned at Lu Wanmeng. What is it? Lu Wanmeng immediately bowed her head in apology. I'm sorry, President. I didn't know there was a guest. She fiddled with her fingers, her voice filled with grievance, as if I were the one who had rudely interrupted. Feeling annoyed, I didn't want to bother with her. Talking to this green tea idiot would only lower my standards. I just hoped she'd take the hint and leave on her own. To my surprise, after her apology, Lu Wanmeng not only didn't leave but instead bounced her way over to Ji Inji. I seriously wondered if something was wrong with her legs. Could she not walk without hopping around? With her slight baby fat, she tried to act all cutesy, but instead of appearing adorable, she just came off as a dim-witted fool to me. Sister, you're so pretty and elegant. Lu Wanmeng exclaimed as she grabbed Ji Inji's hand, showering her with flattery. Thank you, you're cute too, Ji Inji responded with her usual polite smile, gently pulling her hand away. Lu Wanmeng gazed at Ji Inji as if she were inspecting a piece of art, her eyes roaming over her. Pretty sister, I'm the assistant to the boss. Next time you visit, you can let me know so I can announce your arrival, Lu Wanmeng added before suddenly covering her mouth. Oh no, I mean the president. He doesn't want me to address him that way in public. I cursed under my breath. This green tea witch. Saying it like that was sure to make my fiancée misunderstand. With her faux innocence and delicate demeanor, it was obvious she was staking a claim. This green tea bimbo clearly harbored some unspoken hostility toward Ji Inji. I was about to fire back at her when Ji Inji gave me a look. I'm Ji Inji, the general manager of Tianyin Technology. Pleased to meet you, she introduced herself. Tianyin Technology, one of the industry's giants. I didn't believe for a second that Lu Wanmeng hadn't heard of it. Sure enough, when Ji Inji said this, Lu Wanmeng's eyes widened again in feigned surprise. Oh, President Ji. I've heard so much about you, and everyone knows about your engagement with Zhang. I rolled my eyes. Could this green tea idiot be any more tone-deaf? She made our engagement sound like some shady, under-the-table deal. Sister Ji, you have such great taste. I can tell that's a custom suit. Must have cost a fortune, Lu Wanmeng continued before abruptly changing her tone. But there are still so many children in the world who can't even afford to eat or go to school. Sister, do you know that just the price of your outfit could build 2 hope schools? What was this green tea idiot insinuating? Did she think we rich people were heartless? Not to mention, most companies, ours included, donate vast sums to charity every year for the sake of their reputation. Ji Inji shot me a reassuring glance, telling me to stay calm. No need to worry, Miss Lu. The 15th Hope School I've sponsored will be open for enrollment in about a month. Ji Inji watched Lu Wanmeng, who still seemed agitated, with a smile full of interest. Miss Lu, with your evident compassion, you must have made quite a few donations yourself. Interested in investing in my foundation? Lu Wanmeng looked as if she had just suffered some great injustice. Her tears began to fall like a broken kite, and she started sobbing. Sister Ji, please don't misunderstand. Meng just can't stand seeing some people suffer while others live so extravagantly. She lifted her watery eyes, tears streaming down her face. I know you and our president are a perfect match, but Meng feels that once a girl is engaged, it's better for her to focus on family. Keep her. At that moment, my confusion was written all over my face. I touched her forehead. You don't have a fever, do you? Ji Inji laughed and pushed my hand away. I said, keep her. Lu Wanmeng is my sister. The sheer weight of that revelation left me stunned. I didn't react for a moment. Ji Inji was looking at me seriously. Lu Wanmeng is my half-sister. We had grown up together, and I'd never heard anything about her having a sister. True, Uncle Ji always preferred sons, hoping for one to inherit his legacy, hence, he gave his daughter a name like Inji, a name meant for a boy. But Aunt Ji had health issues since she was young, and despite all the doctors they'd seen over the years, she never managed to have another child. Eventually, Uncle Ji gave up on the idea of having a son. Now, out of nowhere, my fiancée tells me she has a half-sister. I was incredulous. How come you've never mentioned this before? Ji Inji smiled bitterly, the pain evident in her voice. Would you broadcast something like that? I pulled her into my arms. Soon, she would be my wife. Even though she was a powerful woman who commanded respect and fear in the business world, to me, she was my delicate and beloved soulmate. After a while, once she had calmed down, she told me about Lu Wanmeng. It turned out that after Aunt Ji couldn't have any more children, Uncle Ji became anxious. Following a failed IVF attempt, he drowned his sorrows in alcohol and, in a half-conscious state, ended up sleeping with his assistant. Feeling guilty toward his wife, Uncle Ji gave the assistant 2 million yuan and asked her to leave the city. She complied, taking the money and disappearing for years without a trace. It wasn't until 7 years ago, after Aunt Ji passed away, that the assistant somehow got wind of the news and contacted Uncle Ji again. Only then did Uncle Ji find out that he had an illegitimate daughter. A DNA test confirmed it. That illegitimate daughter was Lu Wanmeng. When did you find out about Lu Wanmeng? I asked. 7 years ago, Ji Inji replied. That meant she had known about it ever since Aunt Ji had passed away, the moment the assistant first contacted Uncle Ji. But 7 years ago, she had only just started university. After Aunt Ji's death, Ji Inji had become a shadow of herself, losing so much weight that a gust of wind could have blown her away. During that time, she had been like a lifeless doll, her eyes filled with despair and emptiness. I had stayed by her side every day, trying to cheer her up, taking her on trips around the world to lift her spirits. Her mother's death and her father's infidelity, laid out so starkly before her. Even with me there, I couldn't imagine how she had managed to pull through it all. I hugged her tightly, my arms gripping her as if I could fuse her into my very being. Ruiru, I'm sorry. I should have realized sooner. I'm so sorry, really. Ji Inji patted my back, comforting me instead. It's okay, Guogua. It's all in the past. Once we both regained our composure, I asked her, what should we do next, Ruiru? My father's old and muddled. He's sending this useless nobody to challenge me. How can I not oblige him? She said as she stood up, looking at me with clear determination in her eyes and a hint of excitement, like a predator toying with its prey. If she wants to compete for my fiancé, then let's give her a proper game. How about we catch the prey in our trap? Chapter 6. The next day, as soon as I walked into the office, I saw Lu Wanmeng with swollen, red eyes, looking completely out of sorts. President, Meng Meng didn't know any better yesterday. Will you please forgive Meng Meng? Lu Wanmeng's soft, cutesy voice apologized to me. That voice, it sounded like she was constipated. I silently mocked her in my mind but kept a neutral expression, responding with a flat Not sure what my attitude was, Lu Wanmeng stood there in silence, nervously picking at her fingers. Pretending to be busy, I clicked on a few random files on my computer. Go to the finance director and get the budget report for this project, I said. Okay, President, she replied in that pitiful tone of hers. Use an egg to reduce the swelling on your face, I added. Suddenly, Lu Wanmeng spun around, her eyes wide with shock, which slowly turned into delight. Thank you, President. Meng Meng knows now. She chirped, then bounced away with her signature spring in her step. She didn't notice the disdain in my eyes, likely still lost in the fantasy she'd woven for herself, thinking all men would fall for her act. In the days that followed, no matter how outrageous Lu Wanmeng's actions became, I forced myself to endure it, watching her prance around like a clown. As a CEO, I had to maintain my cold and aloof image at all times. Apart from meetings, I rarely spoke. Still, when Lu Wanmeng came to me with her pointless chit-chat, would graciously give her a brief response. These included, but were not limited to, oh, alright, and whatever. Even with just that, Lu Wanmeng acted as if she'd struck gold, performing with even more enthusiasm. Her voice became more sugary, her words increasingly annoying, and she would often tilt her head, staring at me with wide eyes that seemed to sparkle. As if she had some sort of eye condition. It was especially unbearable during meetings when she would report summaries. The way she looked at me was practically dripping with adoration. At the end of one meeting, while people were still gathering their things, she suddenly shouted, "President, you're just so amazing." In her exaggerated, dramatic voice. The others, out of respect for me, held back their laughter, their faces turning red as they quickly fled the scene. Before leaving, the head of the administration department shot me a knowing glance, smiling as he left. I wanted to crawl into a hole and disappear, feeling utterly disgusted, as if I had swallowed a fly. 7. After work, I hurriedly escaped from that suffocating office. I started up the Lamborghini and dialed the phone, intending to ask Ji Injin out for dinner. I called her once, but there was no answer. My Ruerue, she's probably working hard again. When she works, she often forgets to eat and sleep, which has long affected her stomach. I need to get her some snacks, so she won't have to make do with whatever's at hand if she finishes late. As I was about to accelerate out of the garage, Lu Wanmeng suddenly popped out from the side, startling me. I rolled down the window and gave her a serious look, silently asking her what she wanted. "Boss, can you take Meng Meng home? Meng Meng's scooter is out of battery." I followed her gaze to the electric bike shed, where there were rows of electric bikes. One of them, a pink one covered with cartoon stickers and furry decorations, must have been hers. Seeing that I didn't seem to understand, she explained in a cutesy voice, "Meng Meng's scooter is named Jiujio, you know, that pink one over there." I was speechless. I can tolerate foolishness, but not utter stupidity. For Ji Injin's sake, I'll bear it. All the way, Lu Wanmeng chattered non-stop, giving me a headache with her meaningless babble. I kept a frown on my face the entire drive, feeling more annoyed by the second. When this is all over, I'll have to change the seat cushion, don't want my car to retain any trace of this foolishness. "Boss, let's go eat. There's a ramen shop near my place that's really delicious," she said, then leaned closer. Smiling at me. "Meng Meng will treat you." "No," I replied flatly. "Right, the boss is used to gourmet cuisine, how could he eat commoners' food?" she said, as if she were talking to herself. I didn't bother listening to her nonsense and stepped on the gas, driving straight to her apartment building. "Are you afraid that Sister G might get jealous?" she asked. Oh wow, she's even trying to use reverse psychology. Lu Wanmeng continued muttering to herself, trying to sweet-talk me. "Sister G is wealthy and elegant, I bet she's surrounded by lots of men. Unlike Meng Meng, who has only ever talked to her boss and no one else," she added with a hint of sweetness. "Oh, come on, sister, you're not fooling anyone. Weren't you the one just a few days ago, flirting shamelessly with the guys in the development department? Meng Meng believes that a girl should have self-respect. Once you find someone you like, you shouldn't have ambiguous relationships with other men." Seriously? Does she think all rich people live in the old-fashioned way? This mindset is so out of touch with reality. If I hadn't received a proper education, I might have almost believed her nonsense. 8. At the ramen shop, we ordered 2 bowls of beef noodles. 18 yuan a bowl, each with 4 thumb-sized pieces of beef. I have to admit, the taste was pretty good. Lu Wanmeng watched me eat, her expression somewhat smug. Boss has experienced the simple pleasures of life for Meng Meng's sake today. Meng Meng will always remember this day. I almost choked on the broth. What does she mean by simple pleasures? What am I, some celestial being who survives only on dew and moonlight? Come on, I'm just a person, I love hot pot, rice, and large dishes of chicken. Every time Ji Injin and I go to the supermarket, we buy loads of snacks. Just because I'm wealthy doesn't mean I can't enjoy carbs, right? Do I have to eat abalone and lobster every day to qualify as someone of status? This is nonsense. Yes, I'm rich, but I'm not an idiot, I use discount coupons too. Please, stop talking like that and let me finish this meal in peace. Lu Wanmeng kindly gave me all the beef from her bowl, resting her chin on her hands as she watched me eat. She had this starstruck look on her face. I didn't show any sign of annoyance or refusal, rejecting her in public might provoke her into creating a scene. I do have a reputation to maintain. Darn it, if it weren't for my promise to Ji Injin, I wouldn't have to silently fume like this. After finishing the meal, Lu Wanmeng invited me to her place. I maintained my aloof CEO demeanor, keeping a poker face as I strode out of the ramen shop and sped away in my car. If I didn't leave right then, I might have lost my temper. 9. That's how it happened. That little mirror in the car was definitely left there on purpose by Lu Wanmeng, I said. I swear to you, everything I've said is the truth. I looked at Ji Injun with wide, sincere eyes, trying to appear both earnest and a little awestruck. Ji Injun flicked me on the forehead. If you keep imitating the way she talks, I'll make you kiss her. Damn it, woman, you're too cruel. I exclaimed. Ji Injun laughed heartily. If that ever happened, I bet Lu Wanmeng would be over the moon. No, I don't want that. I'm a clean and pure boy, apart from my Ruerue, I don't want anyone else, I said, then kissed Ji Injun firmly on the forehead. You're never escaping my grasp, not in this lifetime. Don't even think about running. No matter where you go, to the ends of the earth, I'll find you, I declared. I want you to know that in all of City A, I'm the one in charge. With a chiseled face, I gave her a fierce yet loving look, a mix of sarcasm and genuine affection. Ji Injun picked up a pillow and threw it at me. Eat dirt. If you sneak peeks at the novels on my phone again, I'll beat you to a pulp. I laughed as I dodged her attack. Ha! If people knew that the formidable Ms. G also reads cheesy CEO novels, your reputation would be ruined. You're playing with fire, man. She said. You've successfully caught my attention, I replied with a smirk. Tell me, what reward do you want? In the end, I found myself pinned against the wall by Ji Injun, who deliberately let out a ghostly whisper. As the saying goes, a wise man adapts to the times. I reversed our positions, pinning her to the wall, our eyes locked only on each other. Through the floor-to-ceiling window, the lighthouse glowed brilliantly, and a giant screen outside displayed a bold declaration. I will love Ruerue forever. For the next few days, I didn't see Ji Injun. She was busy with her work, and I was occupied with mine. In truth, I didn't have much to do, the company was running smoothly. My main task was to keep an eye on Lu Wanmeng for her. Mr. G really lost his touch. Even though Ji Injun is a woman, she's exceptional in both looks and skills. She's been the model child that adults always talk about since we were young. From kindergarten onward, she's never once come second. I don't get why Mr. G has to send someone like that conniving illegitimate daughter to trouble her. Ever since Ji Injun took over the company, its annual performance has increased 5 or 6 times. Everyone in the company respects her. You'd think Mr. G would be happy about that. Could it be? Has Mr. G's soul been suppressed? When a person is controlled by the system, they still have free will, but if they don't follow the system's directives, their personality will be erased. Could it be that my world is just a novel, and both Ji Injun and I are just the villainous side characters while Lu Wanmeng is the cunning protagonist? Oh no! What is even happening? I shook those thoughts out of my head. I swear, I'll never again peek at the novels on Ji Injun's phone. Chapter 10. Logically speaking, working at my own company, especially in the lofty position of CEO, should be incredibly easy. But why does every day at the office feel like I'm attending a funeral? Oh, right, it's because of my damned green tea assistant hovering around me every day. Boss, here's a special coffee that Meng Meng made just for you with love, Lu Wanmeng said softly, carefully handing me the cup and blowing on it. Sis, stop blowing on it, your saliva's getting in there. These past few days, she's been clinging to me more and more, and her lovesick gaze is getting worse. No matter the occasion, she looks at me with those ridiculous, worshipful eyes. It's been tormenting me, and I bet everyone's gossiping behind my back. Frankly, a low-level green tea like her shouldn't even be worth the attention of people like me or Ji Inzong. I have 1,000 ways to ensure she'll never cause any trouble. But unfortunately, she's Ji Inzong's sister, and she's backed by Uncle Ji. To be honest, Lu Wanmeng herself isn't hard to deal with. The real challenge is Uncle Ji. As annoying as it is to have this green tea girl hovering around me during work, it's even worse that after work, I still have to drive her home. Every day, I have to listen to her act cute, play innocent, and complain about Ji In-sung. When it was almost time to leave, I seized the opportunity to sneak away while Lu Wanmeng was in the restroom. Ji In-sung had already parked her car in the garage, honking at me from behind the glass. "Boss, wait for Meng Meng." That nightmare of a voice rang out again. "Lu Wanmeng, why won't you quit? Can't you just stay in the bathroom a little longer? Other people linger in the bathroom for at least an hour, wasting time. But you? You can't even take more than 3 minutes to poop." Lu Wanmeng came running over, panting. "Boss, why'd you leave without waiting for Meng Meng?" "Bad boy, humph." "Oh, Jijia, we meet again." Lu Wanmeng shifted into her signature routine of expressions. Wide eyes, surprise, gaping mouth. "Miss Lu, nice to see you again," Ji In-sung replied coolly. "Jijia, are you here to pick up the boss?" "But..." Lu Wanmeng pressed her index fingers together, muttering, "The boss was supposed to take Meng Meng home first. When did I ever agree to take you home? Being a CEO is hard enough, don't make things up. Have you ever thought about buying your own car after all these years? Still don't have a car? Maybe it's because you haven't worked hard enough or made enough money." "No worries, I can take you," Ji In-sung said, breaking the awkward silence. In the car, the atmosphere was unbearably tense. I had no idea what to say to Lu Wanmeng. I was afraid that if I spoke, I'd end up swearing. "Jijia, the boss took me out for ramen the other day. It was super delicious. With your refined taste, Jijia, you probably don't enjoy such common fare, right?" Silence. Silence filled the car like a heavy cloud. But Lu Wanmeng, completely unaware of the awkwardness, continued her ridiculous remarks. "Jijia, why haven't you married the boss yet? Meng Meng is so looking forward to your wedding." She looked Ji In-sung up and down, her words getting more and more outrageous. Could it be that Jijia has been partying too much to settle down? My mom always told me that a woman's ultimate goal is to return to the family and have children. Jijia, you're so outstanding, but it's a pity you're not a boy. Meng Meng really feels sorry for you. Sigh, women still need to have sons to rely on, right, Jijia? Enough. I snapped, my voice sharp. Although Ji In-sung had repeatedly told me not to be too harsh with Lu Wanmeng and to avoid direct conflict, I'd endured her stupidity for far too long. What she shouldn't have done was hit Ji In-sung right where it hurt. Ji In-sung had been silent the entire time, but now she slammed on the brakes, bringing the car to an abrupt stop. "Get out." Lu Wanmeng hadn't processed it yet. "Huh? Didn't you hear? She told you to get out." "You too," Ji In-sung's voice was as cold as ice, turning to me this time. Now it was my turn to be shocked. "Huh?" The luxury car sped away, leaving me and Lu Wanmeng staring at each other. Chapter 11. Ji In-sung didn't head home immediately. Instead, she went to see her father, Ji Changming. Recently, she had discovered that it was her father who had pulled strings to place Lu Wanmeng in Guotang's company. Lu Wanmeng was shallow, her academic performance mediocre throughout her life. She wasn't particularly intelligent. So, what was the purpose of sending someone like her into the company? Ji In-sung no longer wanted to investigate. If family members had to constantly guard against each other, she would lose all hope in the concept of family. She resented her father. No child could accept their father's infidelity. Having a son through IVF had been her mother's dying wish, yet she had never fulfilled that for the Ji family. The one blessing in disguise was that her mother had died without ever knowing her father had an illegitimate daughter. To her dying day, she believed her father truly loved her. If that assistant had been carrying a boy back then, would her father have let her go? Who knows? Human nature can never withstand scrutiny. Ji In-sung hadn't been home in a long time. After her mother's death, she held a grudge against her father. But she couldn't dismiss all that he had done for her because of this incident. It wouldn't be fair. In this unsolvable conflict, avoidance seemed like the best strategy. When she returned home, 2 cups of tea were already laid out on the table. Her father seemed to have known she would come. Struggling already, my girl? Her father smiled, handing her a cup of tea. Ji In-sung got straight to the point. Why? Her father didn't rush his response. Patience is a virtue, my girl. Drink your tea first. She exhaled, calming her emotions, and waited for Ji Changming to explain. No one goes through life without making mistakes. And when we do, we must take responsibility. I once promised your mother I'd love her forever, but the mess I made after a night of drinking is something I have to own up to, whether I like it or not. So, the mistakes you made are something I, your daughter, must pay for? Ji In-sung asked. You sent a low-level, brainless green tea to meddle with my fiancé? Dad, you know the relationship between Guotang and me. You've watched him grow up. By now, tears filled Ji In-sung's eyes, but she held them back. But I refused outright. I told her I'd give her enough money for a lifetime, so she could live a life of luxury. But she said no amount of money could replace the family affection she lost. Later, she asked to work at Guo's company. I knew her real intention. She wanted to compete with you. When she realized she couldn't compete in business, she thought she'd compete for the man. That foolish child was jealous of you from the bottom of her heart and wanted to take what was yours. Ji In-sung's voice turned cold. Does she think everything I have now was stolen from her? Let's not forget, she's the illegitimate child, and you, Dad, are the culprit in this story. Her father's gaze grew more guilt-ridden. Years of holding power had given him an air of intimidating authority, but at this moment, his face was filled with embarrassment. I know Guo well. He wouldn't do anything inappropriate. So, when Meng Meng asked to get close to him, I allowed it. Keeping her under your watch was my way of ensuring she wouldn't cause any trouble. On her way back, Ji In-sung finally let out her tears. Her father's parting words echoed in her mind. I know everything you've done. Rue, I'm sorry, but all I want is for you to be happy. Chapter 12. For the past few hours, I've been extremely anxious, calling Ji In-sung dozens of times, but all went unanswered. After I got out of the car, Lu Wanmeng still didn't know her place and moved closer to me, sweetly badmouthing Ji In-sung. This time, I finally couldn't hold back and slapped her. Smack! A loud, crisp sound rang out. What a relief! I could do it again. Who says men shouldn't hit women? Well, I just did today. Lu Wanmeng covered her face, looking at me in disbelief, her eyes instantly turning red. I warn you, if you speak ill of Ji In-sung again, I'll slap you every time I see you. Holding back my anger, I turned and left. Fearing that I might not be able to resist giving her another slap. I first took a cab to the villa community but didn't see anyone. Then I went to Ji In-sung's company, but again, no one was around. Since Lu Wanmeng was Ji In-sung's half-sister, then. In this situation where Ji In-sung couldn't suppress her emotions, she must have gone home to find Uncle Ji. On the way to Uncle Ji's house, I received a text from Ji In-sung. Gugwa, I'm feeling pretty normal now. I just want to be alone for a while. Seeing the message, I finally felt relieved. The fact that she could still joke with me indicated that she had calmed down quite a bit. A strong woman isn't one whose emotions can't be swayed by anything, but rather one who can quickly adjust her negative emotions and find the best solution from it. As expected of my wife. However, I still planned to find her. She said she wanted to be alone for a while, so when I found her, I wouldn't speak but would just keep my distance and watch over her. Oh, right, I also need to buy some snacks, like marinated goods, cola, and crayfish, things she likes to eat. Once she's done being sad, she'll definitely want to indulge and turn her sorrow into appetite. Halfway there, my phone buzzed with a text. It was Lu Wanmeng. If you want to know everything, come alone to 186 Washi Lane. Looks like slapping her twice today really had an effect, otherwise, I'd have to wait ages to figure out what she was really up to. Damn, I wish I were a domineering CEO from a novel. That way, I could cover the sky with one hand, call the winds and rain, and have all of a city crawling at my feet. Instead, I'm stuck swallowing my anger every day, playing along with this green tea bitch in the domineering CEO loves me act. Ji Yinzong has such complicated feelings toward this sister of hers. She doesn't allow me to hire a private detective and absolutely forbids me from harming Lu Wanmeng. After all, she's her own sister. I can tell Ji Yinzong wants to resolve this peacefully, which is why she keeps dragging it out. Ah, family ties, truly the most complex thing in this world. 13. At number 186, Zwashi Alley, the ramen shop was still crowded. I followed the address in the text message and walked into the residential area. Judging by the surroundings and layout, these buildings were at least 20 years old. How could Mr. G arrange for his daughter to live in such an environment? He wasn't usually this stingy. He once gifted me a duplex apartment for my birthday. Puzzled, I walked into the building. The door was slightly ajar. I pushed it open, and there was Lu Wanmeng, holding a bottle of liquor, her face flushed with 2 patches of redness and a bruise at the corner of her mouth. CEO, you're here. She said, then squinted her eyes and shook her head. No, not the CEO, it's brother-in-law, hee. I stepped closer and looked at her. What do you really want? Lu Wanmeng gave a silly laugh again, her words slurred from the alcohol. You know, brother-in-law, you know about my background, don't you? Illegitimate daughter, huh, I'm the illegitimate daughter despised by society, huh. I asked again, what do you really want? Lu Wanmeng wobbled to her feet, her tone losing its girlish lilt. I'm Ji Yinzhuang's half-sister, aren't you surprised? She gave a self-mocking smile, huh, seems like I've been the only clown here this whole time. I sighed and said, if you know your own limits, you should live well, not act all cutesy and stupid, annoying everyone. Who even falls for that nowadays? Lu Wanmeng gave another silly laugh and staggered, hee, isn't that how it goes on TV? The male lead doesn't like the beautiful and wealthy lady but insists on marrying a troublemaking heroine. Oh dear. So you do know. What's the point of all this? She countered, why does everything have to have a point? If it has to have a point, then the point of what I do is to annoy Ji Yinzhuang. Why should she be the wealthy heiress while I'm just the illegitimate daughter hidden in the shadows? I know I'm not talented, but I just want to irritate her, to take away the things she values most, her career and her love. I want to take them all. Ha ha ha. Come on, who'd fall for you in this state? You don't even know how to handle monthly tax reports, and you think you're taking over something? Can you at least make a plan before seeking revenge? Even if you were reborn 10 times, you wouldn't be able to beat Ji Yinzhuang. I didn't know what to say, her logic was beyond my understanding. 14. Lu Wanmeng stumbled toward me, her voice turning soft again, brother-in-law, look at Meng Meng. She pouted, isn't Meng Meng adorable? Meng Meng also wants to be with brother-in-law, to make sister sad. Don't you want to know how much you matter to her? Lu Wanmeng got closer, her breath reeking of alcohol, making me nauseous. She reached out, trying to hug me, brother-in-law, stop pretending. Meng Meng wants to see you acting like a lovesick puppy in front of her sister too. Give Meng Meng a hug, won't you? I finally lost patience and kicked Lu Wanmeng to the ground. I can tolerate an opponent's revenge, but I can't stand the stupidity of someone thinking they're clever. Lu Wanmeng, you're shameless. You think Ji Yinzhuang doesn't know about all the things you've done? You fool. So foolish you should be put in a museum. If Ji Yinzhuang wanted, she could make you disappear from the world without a trace. She's just been putting up with you prancing around in front of her. To vent my frustration, I kicked her again. This time in the rear. You won't learn your lesson until you've been taught a good one. So young and already learning to be a manipulative person. And you're not even good at it. You're an embarrassment to Mr. Ji and Ji Yinzhuang. At the mention of Mr. Ji, Lu Wanmeng seemed to lose her composure. Ha ha ha. Ji Changming is just a coward who never takes responsibility. He's never paid me any attention all these years. Her hair was a mess, and tears streamed down her face. You don't know, do you? My school fees were always paid by my mom selling herself. Ji Changming never even gave us a living allowance. 2 million was enough for you to live until adulthood. She laughed bitterly. 2 million. Ha ha ha, that money was snatched away by my heartless uncles long ago. Ha, if I had been a boy, would Ji Changming still deny me? He was cruel enough to ask my mom to abort me when he found out I wasn't a boy. My mom, she was the real naive one. She told me later that she loved Ji Changming, that she initiated that night, and that she was willing to have me. Lu Wanmeng laughed hysterically while crying. Even when she died of a venereal disease, she told me not to blame Ji Changming. Ha ha ha, what a tragically unfulfilled love. Why should I be the victim in her tragic love story? Why? Lu Wanmeng screamed at me, hysterical and overwhelmed. 15. So just because you've been in the rain, you want to tear up someone else's umbrella, is that it? Ji Yinzhuang pushed the door open, her voice cold and sharp. Seeing Ji Yinzhuang, Lu Wanmeng's fury reignited instantly. Oh, you still have the nerve to show up. Let's settle our scores, old and new, today. I shielded Ji Yinzhuang behind me. Lu Wanmeng was like a mad dog now. Ji Yinzhuang stepped forward. This is my house. Why shouldn't I come here? What did you say? Lu Wanmeng seemed stunned by what she heard. Ji Yinzhuang sneered. Did you think all those years of school fees were really poverty grants from the school? Did you think those who bullied you in school apologized to you for no reason? Did you really think the apartment near the second ring road costs only 1,000 yuan in monthly rent? Ji Yinzhuang continued, stepping closer, or did you think, with your tricks, you could lure away my childhood fiancée? Or even snatch my billions in inheritance? Ji Yinzhuang lifted Lu Wanmeng's chin with a finger, forcing her to meet her gaze. Even if I handed my fiancée and all the inheritance to you, do you think you could handle it? Lu Wanmeng was cornered, staring blankly at Ji Yinzhuang. Yes, the situation was too complicated for Lu Wanmeng to grasp. They stared at each other for a long time, but Lu Wanmeng didn't say a word. She never imagined that all these years, the person she hated the most had been protecting her. She wanted to ask why but couldn't bring herself to say it. She knew she wasn't smart, that she was shallow, filled with insecurity. So, she buried herself in novels, absorbing the love stories of the main characters, relishing the thrill of revenge. For the sake of revenge, she even listed and analyzed every revenge plan from those novels. Ridiculous, wasn't it? But that's what she did. In college, she mimicked the way novel heroines dressed and spoke, and indeed, she did attract some boys with ulterior motives. So, she naively believed that all men liked delicate and needy girls. Ji Yinzhuang sighed, your world is too small, so small that you think revenge is the only path in life. 16. Lu Wanmeng had disappeared for quite a while. After that night, when everything was laid bare, she no longer had the face to confront Ji Yinzhuang. When your enemy turns out to be your benefactor, it's hard for anyone to accept that right away. Later, I asked Ji Yinzhuang, do you really not hate her? Ji Yinzhuang looked at me. There was a time when I saw her as my mortal enemy, even wanted to ruin her life. But why should Lu Wanmeng be the one punished for my father's mistakes? If she had been born into a healthy family, she would have been the apple of her parents' eye. Her life was already so difficult from the very beginning. I held Ji Yinzhuang, not knowing what to say. Because I am a man, I naturally have the social advantage, making it easy for me to inherit the family business. But even to take just that one step, Ji Yinzhuang had to put in countless times more effort than I ever did. All those words of encouragement and comfort were stuck in my throat, and all I could do was let my tears flow. You silly boy, why are you crying? Compared to the countless people still struggling at the bottom, I am already far too lucky. A few years later, Mr. Ji passed away, and Ji Yinzhuang fully took over the family business. It had been 6 years since our engagement, and at first, my parents had a lot of complaints. But as her business grew bigger and eventually surpassed ours, my parents couldn't hold back their praise for her. One evening, after a candlelight dinner, Ji Yinzhuang was slightly tipsy. Aren't you afraid that I might surpass you and then swallow up your business? I placed a kiss on her forehead, the candlelight reflecting in both our eyes. For you, I'd be more than willing. Ji Yinzhuang extended her hand to me. Now, take out that 10-carat diamond ring. This lady agrees.